So The Mandalorian Season 1 Episode 5 titled Gunslinger is out now. This is a spoiler review, so you've been warned. So the episode kicks off, we get to see Mando as well as Baby Yoda in the ship. They're just kind of flying around, and all of a sudden, someone found them. And the way this whole sequence played out, I thought it was okay, but it reminded me very much of an anime. It felt very childish, this scene where he's being chased, someone's shooting at him, and he just kind of I don't know where. I'm trying to think. I've seen this kind of thing before, but I just don't know where he just kind of shuts the brakes off. He goes back, and then the guy goes forward, and he falls behind the guy, killing the guy. I was like, oh, it's kind of generic. It wasn't like they kind of set it up to be amazing, but I was kind of let down by it, how we got away from it, because it felt very generic. I was kind of expecting a lot more from that to happen, but because of this whole chase sequence, his ship did get damaged a lot, so he lands in Tatooine, and I was like, oh my god, it's the first time I've seen Tatooine since I'm pretty sure episode 6 back in like the 80s. Like, of course we've seen it in episode 1, 2 and 3. I don't think we've seen it. No, we didn't see it in Solo or Rogue One, but actually in continuity was episode 6, episode 6 was the last time we got to see it. So I was like, oh, brilliant, Tatooine. But he leaves his ship in a shipyard, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And the woman, she fixes the ship, but he leaves the ship with Baby Yoda sleeping inside, and I was like, okay, something's gonna happen. There's no way Baby Yoda's gonna be fine in there. But then he gives the woman a bit of money. He goes, I need more. So of course he's going to go off and find a job, and which kind of sets this up to be kind of a filler episode, just because he's going off and getting a random job just to get money. So I was like, okay, just when that happened, I'm like, okay, this kind of feels like it's going to be a filler episode. But he goes to a bar, and the bar, I'm pretty sure it wasn't the bar from episode 4, but it felt very much like it. But there's a droid behind the bar, and the droid, of course, says it's Tatooine, because at that moment I was thinking, I'm pretty sure this is Tatooine. Is this Tatooine? And then he just says, yep, this is Tatooine. So I was like, okay, that's the easiest way for them to be able to say that this was actually Tatooine. And then there's this guy sitting in the corner, all Han Solo-like, where he was just kind of sitting there, legs up on the table talking. He's very obnoxious, and Mandalorian he offers the Mandalorian a job, so he takes it, but he's like, you can have all the money, I just need to get into the guild. So he goes, I don't care, you can do all the work, I just need to get in there. So the Mandalorian takes it just because he hears all the money he can get, which he actually needs to pay off his ship. So they go off together. He gets 2 speeders, and they make their way out to where the new assassin that they're after is. And along the way, they run into some Tusken Raiders. Like, oh my god, because I know we've seen Jawas so far. Now we got to see Tusken Raiders. They're really kind of showing all this old Star Wars stuff in our face, even though I don't mind it. It's just, this is the best property we've seen in a while from Star Wars. So I understand why they're throwing a lot at us, because they're trying to keep our attention, for especially people who are a bit iffy about Star Wars at the moment. They're just trying to throw a lot of it at us. But then the Tusken Raiders, it was pretty cool to see them. This is something even though I knew we were in Tatooine, I did not expect to see this whatsoever. But then they make their way, and then they're kind of, I can't remember if they're walking or if they're going up in the speeders, but they're going up a hill, and all of a sudden the Mandalorian gets shot. He falls back, and they're like, okay, the assassin is trying to assassinate us, so they have to wait off up behind the hills where she can't shoot them until dark, so she can't actually see them, because it's dark, they can't see them. And they make their way over in the speeders, and she starts shooting at them, and then she shoots the Mandalorian, he goes flying back, and then the other guy sneaks behind her, and she tries to catch her, but a big little shootout goes at the Mandalorian, comes to stop her, and it's kind of revealed that the woman who's the assassin is May from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, I'm behind the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know if she's dead. I don't know if the show's done, so I don't know if she's going to be a recurring character, because she does get shot down at the end of this episode. But it's Star Wars. She could survive. Like we seen in episode 3, we seen that I can't think of his name. I actually looked it up the other day. I can't remember his name now. But Apollo Creed, he gets shot down. Of course, he did have that metal piece there. But for all we know, she could still be alive. But as the Mandalorian goes back because she destroys one of the speeders. So the Mandalorian goes way back to Tatooine to try to get something and actually bring her back. And he leaves the assassin as well with the bounty hunter he's working with together. And then she starts talking to him. She's trying to trick him into releasing her and taking the Mandalorian, because she's like, oh yeah, I heard about this Mandalorian that escaped and took a big huge bounty along with him, and he kind of destroyed the guild. And he goes, okay, and he can tell it in his mind. He's like, I can take him, get all the glory. So he's very much contemplating, but then he shoots her down and goes, you really think I'm going to let you free? Because I know what's going to happen if I let you free. So then it kind of leaves as, okay, he killed her, and then the Mandalorian makes his way back, but then this guy's gone. So I was like, okay, he's made his way back to Tatooine. He's going to get Baby Yoda. And I was like, okay, this is why he left Baby Yoda in the ship. There's no way I was wondering why he didn't just take him. I knew like he's not going to take him because of it's like a bounty. He's not really going to take him. But again, he did that in episode 2. He did episode 4 was okay. He kept him safe, which he kind of did in this episode. But of course, you knew something was going to happen, and the fact that he does get Baby Yoda, and they kind of leave it at like the Mandalorian he's like his hands are up behind his head like this. The guy has a gun at him, and then the woman who is fixing the ship goes behind the camera to take his weapon off him or put handcuffs on. But then she sees he's got a little light. He flashes the light, and then the guy's hold Baby Yoda, drops Baby Yoda. He jumps inside. The Mandalorian jumps inside and shoots him down. I'm like, okay. So again, this is very much a filler episode. Like I said back in episode 2, this felt like a filler episode, and I wonder is it going to come back around. Episode 2 has not come back around, and I feel like this itself was very much a filler episode. I thought episode 2 was a lot better. I think this is probably the weakest episode we've got this season. It was not bad by any means, but it felt very fast. No, not sorry, it didn't feel very fast for it. I think it was just about 32 minutes, and it didn't feel like that. It felt a lot longer than that. It just, this episode it didn't really keep my attention that much, where I was kind of hoping, especially coming off episode 4, which was my favourite episode this season, going into this episode, I found it to be very, very long. Even though episode 4 was a lot longer, I just felt this episode to be very disappointing, and it's just, I don't know, especially that guy at the end, who, there's some mysterious guy who comes up at the end, who comes up to actual Agent May from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I was thinking, I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty confident to say that is Gustavo Fring from or from Breaking Bad, because I seen he's in the trailer. We're coming into episode 6 now, I think, and we haven't seen him yet, and there's only 8 episodes as far as I know, so I'm assuming that is him, because we're going to have to see him eventually, and I think that's just a way of bringing him in. So when it comes to episode 5, I found it very disappointing, especially coming off episode 4 and coming off episode 3, which are just very interesting. Like episode 2, I thought that was my least favourite, but now it is by far episode 5. I just found it very underwhelming, very disappointing, and I was expecting a lot more from this episode. I don't know what episode 6 is going to be about. I'm very intrigued for episode 6, just because that like kind of cliffhanger at the end, which was kind of in a way a post-credit scene, even though it wasn't after the credits, it was literally right before the credits started. But it felt like the end of the episode, and then they kind of knocked this scene on, so it felt like a post-credit scene. So I'm interested to see what that happened, because I did kind of set up something, so I don't know where it's going to go, and I'm very intrigued to see what happens next, just because I am very intrigued with the season overall, but especially because there's a season 2 coming. They already know there's a season 2 coming, so season 1 is going to end in the cliffhangers I imagine it's going to end in the cliffhanger, so I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. But if you'd like this review, click that subscribe button so you can come back and see my review of episode 6 next week, along with, I've got episode 4, 3, 2 and 1 in my I got a playlist there, The Mandalorian. I'll leave that right down here, but also, thanks for watching.